Hello everybody, I'm Toby Loxon of TFL Creative Media and welcome back to TFL Creative Media's celebration of Autism Awareness Month as a lead up to the production of our latest short film, The Railway Woman, and we're continuing our celebrations by hosting our third discussion video. And that is going to be with Eleana Ree. Hi Eleana.
Hello.
How are you today?
Yes, good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good despite the circumstances, and the half an hour trying to get this thing set up, which is bloody ridiculous in my eye. You think technology would just work for you when it needs to?
That's quite a short amount of. No, that's quite a short amount of time to figure something out. To be fair, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Google was telling me one thing, but but Facebook was doing another. No, but but we're here now. We're live now, so we'll just crack on, shall we? All right. So to kick things off, I'm sure people would like to know, basically who you are. Just tell us a bit about yourself, your passions, and your interest in the film industry.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Eleana Ree. That's my artist name. So yeah, I've done a lot of filmmaking with Carousel Brighton, which Toby has worked with as well. And they're a great organisation that does art with people with learning disabilities and autism. Or autism. I love doing art, like visual art, not just films. I do painting, drawing, that sort of thing. I love doing creative writing as well, so that's another one of my things. But that's the main thing really at the moment, because I find writing quite easy to do, like natural to do. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, what kind of things do you like to write about?
Well, I like to write about sort of like emotional stuff. So if I'm feeling emotional, I'll write about sort of the deep emotions and stuff and the meaning of it. I like looking into the meaning of life, sort of that sort of thing. So but I also like to make it a bit quirky and characterful as well, and add in a bit of comedy or humour, whatever you want to call it.
Would you consider yourself to be funny?
Sorry?
Would you consider yourself to be funny?
Mediocre funny. Medium, yeah.
I mean, I feel like I think you're selling yourself too short, because you did some work for the BBC.
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget? Yeah, basically, I did a commission for BBC New Creatives, I think they called it. It's still online, so if you search Eleana Ree BBC, it will be online.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi. That's my fault on my end, people. Sorry.
If you search my Facebook name, Eleana Ree, how it's spelled Eleana, then space, and then RE, and then you write BBC in Google search, it really should come up. Last time I looked, I'm pretty sure that's what I typed in, and that came up. So it's still on there to watch, basically. And it was really fun to make. We made it in a weekend, but we planned for it for ages, and we did loads of storyboarding for it. But we made it quite quickly. We sort of had the main plan and the outfits and everything planned. But what I actually said was a bit ad-lib type thing, sort of improvised. Because I think that turns out best sometimes, so... Yeah.
No, that sounds really good. Does your piece does it have a name?
what was it called? Oh yes, What is Normal? Who Decides? That was it. Yeah.
I mean, the answer is there's no such thing as normal, but Eleanor goes into a
Definitely.
much gets all philosophical on you. But
Oh God, yeah. Right.
no,
Yeah.
but I want to talk about Carousel just briefly and the Oscar Bright Film Festival, because I mentioned it on TFL Creator Media quite a few times. In fact, I even when I did one of my vlogs, I even catch the end of one of the opening speeches that you did for the Oscar Bright Film Festival back in 2019.
All right, I didn't know that was recorded. That was.
I actually did ask you at the time, and you said it was cool. But to be fair, that was kind of on the day, and you probably had so many things going on in your mind, really. So I don't blame you for if it slipped your mind.
Oh right, okay. Oh, fair enough.
But she was really genuinely good. You can check out that vlog on TFL Creator Media if you're curious, and you too, Eleanor, if you want to just relive your memories.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
Those were the days when you could actually go outside.
Yeah.
Because you were really good, and it must have been a real privilege to do that as well.
Yes, definitely was a privilege. Yeah, I took it very seriously, and I was quite nervous before I did it, but I do like performing, and I'm quite confident on stage, I think. So, well, the few experiences I have had, I'm not like that experienced an actor or speech giver, but yeah, it came sort of naturally, comfortably to me, and the more work I do with Carousel, the more filming I do, the more confidence I get performing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely respect that and understand that.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media?
You just add me on Facebook, so my actual personal account. I don't actually have a page for my art up as of yet, so yeah, maybe in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows? But of course, like it's been the theme with all of these discussions. Eleanor is on the autistic spectrum, and I think, and that brings us on to our next topic about autism representation, because actually it's quite interesting talking to Eleanor about this, because actually she and I, back before we went through the first lockdown in the UK, we actually did a presentation about proper representation. And I feel like, representation is something that's always a big passion with me, but I just want to know what your take on it is. Could people be doing more? What's your sort of take on it all, when it comes to autistic representation on film and television?
Okay, well, I know there is the thing of people are acting people with people who don't have autism or disabilities are acting parts of people who are disabled or have disabilities, or autism, or certain conditions. So I think that is a good point, that people definitely, autistic and a wider variety of neurodiverse people should be employed to act and be in the film industry. It shouldn't just be people acting like them to represent them. They can do it more authentically if they use actual people who have disabilities or autism. So, and that might be more interesting as well. So, yeah. Autistic representation. I know there's that Love on the Spectrum on Netflix.
Oh yeah, I heard about it, but for what I know, I'm not fond of it. I really am not fond of it.
I'm not over really.
Do you feel like that it's it's almost like it's patronizing? It's like it's like, oh, it kind of almost sends a bad message. Like, they've got this show specifically so people on the spectrum can find romance, all those cliche reality setup television shows that loads of studios thrive upon. But it's like you have to be on you have to find somebody else on the spectrum in order to fall in love, which is that's not true, is it? Because
no, exactly. Yes, you don't have to have. if you're autistic, you don't have to be in a relationship with someone else that's autistic. You don't have, it doesn't always work. So, yeah. Or sometimes it does, But they I think they're doing sort of like a dreamy version that everyone in it has things that work. I've only watched one episode, really. So,
but I mean, yeah, so have I. But it's enough to know, just like, no, just this is not good. This is not good stuff.
It's sort of entertaining. It's a bit like the Undateables in England, that one, but maybe Undateables in England was a bit more down to earth, possibly. And also, I'm never sure about dating apps and like speed dating and stuff. If that's really a good idea, but maybe it is. I don't know.
I mean, that's just. Yeah. You're fair to think about that. But I feel, that show, it's not. It doesn't. I mean, it's. The thing is that like some shows are designed to get a certain emotion out of you, and whilst those people on Love on the Spectrum, they are genuine people. Like they are people with their own lives, and they are genuine on the spectrum. But the thing is that it paints them as sort of like more sort of hopeless when it comes to romance, or it's just preachy and
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like you and I, we've met loads of people with autism at Carousel, and they are, very nuanced. They can be very expressive, or they can be very, quiet, or they could be all sorts. But it's like, it presents like kind of one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it kind of like presents one version of it, doesn't it? And it's just not right. I was talking to when I was talking to Yasmin Wilson, and
also,
okay.
I just say another bit.
Yeah.
Another thing that annoys me with that TV show was that all the families that the people who were dating had were very, very mollycoddling and really, really just sort of catered to their every need, and it's like it's not like that for most people, and it almost makes made me a bit like, well, I didn't have that, and I've got more social skills than them as a result, I guess. So,
yeah, because you and I, we both live independently and are able to sustain ourselves. But one of those cliches is that autistic people can't sustain themselves, which is. It's not true, and that just is a good, it's just a good, metaphor for the spectrum. It's just not one straight line. It's a massive umbrella. You can be anywhere on that umbrella. It's just not one specific thing. It can be anything.
Yeah.
But within that, within those autistic parameters, I mean, they're
all a bit similar, the cases, if you look at them.
You're absolutely.
They're all like they've got a very.
I think the producers
caring, very, very caring family. Very.
I think the producers of that show they picked those specific kinds of people for a specific reason and not just picked a more diverse variety.
No, that is a very good point. Yeah.
So I mean, that's an So really, like what we can take away from this is that we do want to show like a whole variety of people on the spectrum that isn't just one note, even if it's whether if it's reality or fictional. And actually on the fictional thing, when I was talking to Yasmin Wilson and Michael Woods, we talked about how it's like media in fiction with autism. It's like two sides. It's either completely inept and unsociable, or more equivalent to savants, which let's be honest, not every autistic person is a savant. Not every single autistic person has to have a special skill. Not all of them are geniuses.
I don't know what savant means. Sorry, what is it?
It's kind of like a genius.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, they do act like they're really, really intelligent and no social skills. That's the stereotype, isn't it?
Yes, a complete stereotype, because it was like I was saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you agree? Like, not everyone with autism is a genius, and not all of them have to be.
But also, not all of them have zero social skills. A lot of them have learned some social skills, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
like most people.
I mean, heck, loads of autistic people can really create their own identities with it. I mean, I know. I mean, with your wardrobe and your curtains over there, you really, you use orange as a really good, like, part of you, as a part of your personality, and to present yourself as you. Which is, I've always admired that. Actually, I can never decide what color. I can never decide one color in my eyes. I just love all colors.
That's why it's so helpful, because it helps you decide things easier. It makes you more decisive, because like if I was just to like every color, I would just be total like mess in a shop. You know, I would just. It would take me ages to choose anything. And
actually, to be fair, I have been clothes shopping.
It narrows it down a bit in a good way.
No, actually, no, that's absolutely true. Because just for point of reference, people, I have actually been clothes shopping with this woman, and it doesn't take long, because she just goes immediately for something that suits her stylistically, and as long as it's orange.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if there's anybody watching who has any questions for Eleanor, please go ahead. I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them. But whilst we're waiting for the amount of questions to come flooding in from the limited audience right now, so we talked about sort of like, you know, the bad sort of representations. What about some of the good ones? Like, do you have any recommendations for people that shows a more positive portrayal of autism? Like, whether it be a television show or a film or a stage play or a book, or even one of the short films that we've encountered at Carousel, at Oscar Bright, conversely. Because just to get your...
I know a book that was about autism, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime.
Oh yeah, that one was adapted into a stage play.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to actually see that one time back in 2015 with on a college trip, and it was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I just felt at the time this was very vain of me to say, but it was, you know, this was like a 18-year-old me, and I thought that the guy who was playing the main character was too ripped. I thought like he was too ripped to be autistic, which is absolutely stupid. It was like we were saying, like, you know, like autism is not restricted to one kind of, you know, demographic. It's like it can be anything in that regard. But but I feel but I also did learn that he wasn't actually genuine on the spectrum, which is kind of a shame. But it is still a really good story. Like how do you feel like it's a good recommendation for representation?
I mean, it's been a long time since I watched it, but I remember I did like it. But I think Mark Haddon is a good writer, and I can't remember too much about it, to be honest. But,
because like you said as a writer that you like to deal with the emotion parts of the human condition. Like, do you feel like that there's the elements of the emotional core of that story sort of like it appeals to you?
I think it did when I read it, yeah.
Any like short film or visual, like moving picture recommendations? Moving pictures. Where are we living in the 30s? Because I don't know if you know this, but I put a recommendation up back on last Sunday on the Instagram, and one of them was actually Look for Me by Miriam Fox.
Or was that the one we looked at in the Oscar Bright?
Yeah, because just point of context, me and Eleanor Ree, along with a few others, were part of a panel of judges deciding which films would get into the Oscar Bright Film Festival. And Eleanor's film was shown in the film, and that interpretation film I made a while back will be as well. And actually, maybe hopefully, if because it was the new Oscar Bright 2021, so because it happens once every 2 years, it's been extended. So the deadline's been extended. So hopefully the Railway Woman might be finished by then. But yeah. But I also recommended them a Pixar short film called Loop, and it's on Disney Plus, and it focuses on an individual who's nonverbal, which I think was just which is a very interesting way to take. Like, can you think of any others?
I know a stage play I saw that had Sarah Gordy in it.
Who's Sarah Gordy?
Oh, do you not know her? Oh, she was at Oscar Bright Film Festival.
Oh, wait, was she... no, she wasn't the comedian, was she?
No. She has ginger hair. She was in Call the Midwife as well, once or twice, I think. Well, maybe a fair few times, I don't know. But, yeah, anyway, she did this... she was in this play called Jellyfish. And I think it was about... I actually saw it, but I've got really bad memory. But I saw it on the stage in London, and it was about... I think it was about either a relationship or a friendship with someone with Down syndrome and someone without a sort of disability.
Was there an autism element in the stage play?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, so it was. So it's kind of diverging off track with autism, but.
Oh, all right, yeah.
No, but that's okay. Well, looking at the time now, I feel like that we've covered everything that we need to, and I'm just really and thank you very much for taking the time to talk. Thank you very much for the recommendations. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Eleana, and thank you so much for your patience, mostly for trying to get set.
That's all right.
Hopefully, if we do one of these in the future, we can learn from next time in order, to make sure that we can be more reliable on that front.